What the fuck is up, absurdists? Welcome to Electric Chair, where we sift through all the noise to bring you the most nonsensical tracks and artists of the week with an unhealthy dosage of analysis and commentary. I'm your host and executioner, Peyton Dunn.
And I'm Shibo.
Shibo, I've been waiting for this new Gecs album for fucking 2 years. And when it actually finally dropped on Tuesday, I'm not exaggerating when I say that I fucking hated that shit. I could not stand it.
What? Hater. I did not dislike it. I had to give it more listens. This is how I reacted when I listened to Gecs for the first time ever. You know, listen to 1,000 Gecs. Like, what the fuck is this shit? You know, this sounds like ass. But then you fucking realize that you listen to it again and again, and every single melody and every single fucking progression from the album is stuck in your head, and you're singing goofy fucking words, all wanting to throw your fucking phone in the lake.
I might go and throw my phone into the lake, yeah. It ain't hard to quit.
And you realize how fucking good this shit actually is. I gave it a second listen this morning after the day it came out. Boy, does it hit like 10 times harder than it did before.
No, I completely agree. This has been my relationship to Gecs since day one, since 1,000 Gecs. The first time I heard it, I turned on 745 Sticky.
I make my money on my own, yeah. Waking up 5 in the morning, yeah. Throw money in the oven, yeah. Fuck sleep and his cousin, yeah. I've been on the roll, yeah. Spend my money like it's stolen, yeah. Shit, I'm already broken. It's only 7:45 in the morning, yeah. I feel like it's good enough.
Which is not a good Gecs track to start off with because it's not really their best produced one. And I heard it was just this cringy ass kick with those pitched up vocals, and I was like, I can't fucking stand this. I was fully in my indie era, and I was like, this is too much. This is too overstimulating. This isn't tasteful. That's just how every single Gecs song that comes up, that's what my relationship to it's been. And then it takes me about like maybe half a year, maybe even a full year to truly understand it. That was even the case with the more recent singles, especially with Doritos and Fritos.
The beach, I bought a tea. It's hot as G's. It's 100 degrees. Apply the lotion.
When I first heard that song, like I could not know what they were going for. I understood the kind of punk infused direction because that's where hyperpop in general has been going for the past few years. But like I wasn't quite in love with the execution. But then like a few weeks later, I was fucking bopping along to it. And it's kind of a testament to this album that it only took me a few days to really get into it. Now, in those few days, it took me like 5 different listening sessions until I was like, okay, now I fully understand it. But the first time I heard it, it was the opposite of when I first heard 1,000 Gecs. It wasn't overstimulating, it was understimulating to me. If by comparison, 1,000 Gecs was so much more chaotic and went into so many different directions spontaneously. Like they would just randomly switch up the songs, and here it felt like they were trying to be a lot more methodical, a lot more pop, at least on my first listen.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think a big part of that feeling that you felt of, oh shit, it doesn't hit like that, is because you waited 2 years for this. In your mind, you were supposed to feel that same rush that you felt when you heard 1,000 Gecs. Well, I mean, they've taken in on themselves as artists, even Laura with some of the solo work. It's just a product of becoming a fully functioning machine that has to go on tours, that has to fill out specific label requirements, that has to do all these things. I don't blame them. I think it's good the way the sound is progressing, but I do agree that because of the dubstep being a little bit missing, them not incorporating something completely outlandish like they did in 1,000 Gecs, this album was a little bit expected. It felt like, okay, yeah, I get it. I really wished it had something which had just never been bloody done. In hyperpop, the trio sound was not it. When Breakins did that shit on this new album, I was like, okay, this motherfucker is moving the needle. I really like hearing that.
That was amazing. On fucking, what song was that? 5G. Oh my god. The combination of that with all of his like typical hyperpop sounds over that Midwest emo guitar was like so left field for him, but somehow it fucking worked. I don't know how.
Yeah.
He's a fucking musical genius.
It's still Breakins, you know. It still has the shimmery guitars. So you know what you're getting into when you hear the high-pitched vocals on 5G, but you do not know what the fuck is going to hit you the second the chorus is. And that's how 100 Gecs felt a little bit. But the first time I heard them, since the get-go, I'm like, okay, I've not heard this shit before. Who the fuck is a piss baby?
Hey, you little piss baby. You think you're so fucking cool, huh? You think you're so fucking tough? You talk a lot of big game for someone with such a small truck. Oh, look at those arms. Your arms look so fucking cute. They look like little cigarettes. I bet I could smoke you. I could roast you. And then you'd love it. You text me I love you. And then I'd fucking ghost you. Big boys coming with the big stuff. I feel so cool.
Is it me? Is it them? What the fuck is this truck?
It literally means nothing. They said that they like literally came up with that out of thin air. It literally means nothing.
Made me question my listening experience and made me really pay attention. Now I went in knowing this is what 100 Gecs sounds like. It's what I'm expecting, and that's what I got. So I feel like it was like a good album. I would give it like a 5 out of 10. You know, I'm a harsh critic.
5 out of 10. I don't know if that's a good album.
6
That's
out of
kind of
10.
like middle of
6 out of
the
10 is a
road.
pretty
I would
damn
rate
good
it like
album.
I'm not a big fan of rating albums in general. Like it kind of goes against my philosophy. But if I had to rate it, I mean, I would do like at least probably like a 7, 7.5. 7.5 might be pushing it because I don't think it's like revolutionary per se. But I think it's a good fucking album.
I mean, rating is just a rating. I'm just some dude. I don't really know shit. I give A Whole Lot of Red a 6 out of 10, and that's one of my favorite albums.
I told my boy gon' like 10 blends for me. I'm tryna get high till I can't feel nothing. I'm tryna get high till I can't.
And that shit was revolutionary.
Really, I will probably the first time I heard it give it a 6 out of 10. Now to give it like a 5. Like that, it grew on most people. On me, I don't think it really did. Like I like the Rage sound in general. I like what Playboi Carti is going for and what he's created. But like that album specifically, I'm not a huge fan of. But that's kind of a little off topic. Yeah. Going back to like the whole dubstep thing that you mentioned, like I think that's what I was expecting. Like especially on like songs like Frog on the Floor.
Frog on the floor, where'd he come from? Nobody knows where he'll go. Frog on the floor, where'd he come from?
Their kind of ska punk classic sound.
One of my favorites.
I was just expecting like a random like bass drop, but it just kept on going. It kept on chugging through this new rock sound. It was the opposite of being taken aback. I was just like, where is the flavor?
Yeah.
And I kind of disagree with what you were saying. I don't think this is what I expected from the Gecs at all when I heard it. This was like the complete opposite. It was way less extreme than what I've grown accustomed to from them.
I think they really fucking gave the listeners blue balls when they collabed with the Skrillex.
Everything is boring. Everybody hurts sometimes. Everything works sometimes. Do you want to torture me? Do you want to torture me? Do you want to see me cry? Do you want to torture me? Do you want to?
And made a fire-ass song, put on the EP, and did nothing like that, morally like that, on the album. I get it, Skrillex had a rollout coming in. He was doing cool features with everybody all across the face, like Trippie Redd, Pink Panthers. But the fact that that sound kind of didn't flow in with the 10,000 Gecs album, kind of didn't hit me the right way. I was expecting to hear a little bit more. So
To be fair,
I think you do make sense.
Dumbest Girl Alive, I would say, does kind of have the imprint of Skrillex.
Frankenstein, I did science on my face. I'm the dumbest girl alive. Never ask me what I think. Don't know why you even try, cause I always get it wrong. I'm the dumbest girl alive. Money coming from my mouth, money coming from my eyes, and I keep on losing count. I'm the dumbest girl alive, and I'm picking up the pace. I'm so happy.
Not the early Skrillex that they usually pull their influences from, where it's like complete bro step, but kind of the new, more dance adjacent stuff.
I do this, I move this, I prove this. Bars be hard like a pound of bricks and go up, jumps the boogie to the bang bang high. It's the kind of beat that go rat-ta-ta. It's the kind of beat that go rat-ta-ta, rat-ta-ta. It's the kind of beat that go rat-ta-ta.
Especially in that bass on that song, and especially in those like those DJ backspins that keep playing throughout. It really feels like this album was really made for the live experience, which is like so exciting. I think their live shows coming up are gonna be absolutely crazy because of that. Because with 1,000 Gecs, it was very obvious that they were still underground. We're making an album to be appreciated underground through the listening experience, through the streaming experience. But now you can really tell that they've really leveled up in their career, as they have. I mean, they signed to Atlantic since they released 1,000 Gecs. So now there's a lot more stake, especially when it comes to the live performance. And by incorporating those like driving punk drums and just like the whole punk aesthetic in general, I think they're gonna make their mosh pits already infamously went crazy and made like tiles fall from the ceiling at like NYU. I think that was like a lyric in a Food House song.
I go give myself to the Gecs pit, break my spine. All those NYU kids wreck shit, falling titles. The energy I felt there got me fucked now, cause now I think
Now it's going to be even harder, I think. The mosh pits are going to be even crazier this time around.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing because Gecs really relies on that personalized experience of having the fans really connect with the artists. So since the beginning, memes have been such a big part of the 100 Gecs fan base, and fans have been making their own, you know, on Reddit or on Instagram. When I get into the 100 Gecs loophole, that's all I see. Like, fans are carrying that conversation, whether it's in the comments or whether it's elsewhere. So it's good that they get to connect. Also that they get to do it with so many people that wouldn't have done it, well, one, before Atlantic, because that helped Laura get that 100 placement, I suppose, maybe to some extent in Euphoria.
Cal came over. She decided to say something.
I'm so fucking stupid.
And everybody who I talk to who listens to Laura, Dylan's old stuff, or 100 Gecs in general, has found them through either memes, like goofy TikToks, or to Euphoria. I'm like, okay, that's a pretty damn good thing. People want to go see artists and sounds like this. Yeah, let them move live. It's going to be packed though, because they're not going to be playing like 1,000 people anymore.
Oh, no way. I've looked at some of the venues that they're playing, and they're fucking massive compared to the venues that they played before. And with that does come a little bit of a price increase, which I'm not a huge fan of. Like on their last tour, it was like $25 a pop, which was a huge lowball for who they were even at the time. But now it's $45, which isn't that much. Like, this isn't like Taylor Swift expensive. They're not charging like $3,000. But I don't know. It's still like a huge step up in the price, and I'm like, ooh, I'm contemplating whether I'm gonna go or not. I thought I couldn't go, I'm not gonna lie, when I was checking the dates, but it turns out there is a sneaky little DC date there that will perfectly when I'm gonna be back to my hometown, which is relatively close. So I think I'm gonna bite the bullet and go fucking mosh hard to fucking Frog on the Floor. Oh, it's gonna be so much fun.
Try to do that. What's your favorite track on the album?
I would say I Got My Tooth Removed. I love when Gecs goes ska punk. They've done it before on
Stupid Horse.
Bet my money on a stupid horse, I lost that. So I ran out to the track to get my cash back. I just gotta leave this place with a big bag. So I found a fucking jockey and I grabbed that. Pushed him down to the ground and I punched him in his face. Yeah, I stole his phone, I put him in his place. Me and the horse, we ran out of the place. Then we took my horse back to my place.
on Stupid Horse and on Sympathy for the Grinch.
Done being jolly, time to be naughty. Think it's time we settle up the score. Fill up the wish list, let's cause some mischief. Grab my keys, I'm heading out the door. I've been good for way too long. Gonna get this shit I want.
But here it's so much harder because you could tell on those older songs that the guitar they were using was a synth guitar. That wasn't a real guitar. It was super obvious, which was part of the Gecs sound. But now that they're actually using real guitars on this, it just goes so much fucking harder.
I'll say me, even though it's been out for a while.
You'll never really know.
Probably my favorite song in the album.
Really? I think that might be single bias.
Could be single bias.
Whenever I'm choosing a favorite song off of an album, I try to completely avoid the singles just because, like, it being out for longer, especially with, like, a Gecs album, being familiar with it's obviously going to give it an automatic edge. Yeah. So I try to go for the ones that have just come out. I try.
But it's just been stuck in my head for months now. I mean, I haven't heard the other songs yet nearly as much.
Yes.
I think Frog on the Floor goes hard. Watch to it.
That's gonna be a stupid mosh pit though.
Yeah, stupid mosh pit.
The song doesn't, like, it's not super hardcore like some of these other songs where you have these distorted. It's a fairly normal song for Gecs, and I think that's what is gonna make it mosh so hard, is because it's kind of it's stupid. Like, it's stupid in a good way. It's gonna be a very silly, carefree mosh pit. I hope people are like fucking jumping like frogs. Like, they open up the mosh pit and then people get down on all fours and start like ribbiting and going. That would be fucking. That would be a Gecs show. That would be a Gecs show. Man, that's all I'm saying. People better bust out some frog hats too. Get a frog suit.
Pull up with face paint. Who knows?
Maybe not that far. I mean, maybe not that far. there's this new variety piece that came out alongside the album called 100 Gecs Hit a New Peak, an absurdist pop genius. And I think we have to mention that just obviously because of the name. Because when I was coming up with absurdist, what I said to people was like, you know, the goal is, this is massive, this is never gonna happen, but in 10 years time, I want people to start calling stuff absurdist pop.
Wow.
Little did I know, we wouldn't have to wait 10 years, people. It's happening now. It's happening today. Like, fucking like a few months into absurdist launching, we still only get like maybe like 10 plays an episode, but
humble.
They're using the word absurdist to describe Gecs, and I think that's influence enough. I think we can retire right here, honestly. And on that note, I think I'm gonna retire this episode, Shibo. And by retire, of course, I mean end it. That's all we have for you today. Thank you all so much for tuning into Absurdist Electric Chair. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at absurdist_io and at our website, absurdist.io. If you liked what you heard today and want to follow us along our executionary journey, you can follow us or subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. You can also rate us 5 stars or leave a like on the episode to help us spread the absurd word to even more listeners. I'm your host and executioner, Peyton Dunn.
And I'm Shibo.
And remember to eat your vegetables. That's going to be at the end of the episode, Michael. After I say, and we'll see you all next time.
Hard as fuck.
And remember to eat your vegetables. Well, what's another quirky thing I could say?
Make sure to look both ways before you cross the street. Like some goofy shit like that. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, a little more quirky than eat your vegetables. And make sure you... I don't know what's quirky. What are the kids into these days?
Meth.
And stay away from ketamine. Hey, you know that's what Stupid Horse was about? Apparently it's not about heroin. Which makes no sense because horse apparently is about horse tranquilizer. I saw that on TikTok once. I don't know if that's
horse
true.
Horse tranquilizer is ketamine. No? They use ketamine to...
Horse tranquilizer is ketamine, but horse slang means cocaine. So it's kind of iffy about which it might mean, but I saw a TikTok where somebody claimed they went in a Discord server where Laura Les was just like fucking zoning out, and they were like, "What's up, Laura?" And she was like, I'm on ketamine right now. I'm on ket. You know, that's what Stupid Horse is based on. It's about my experience with ketamine. And it's like, I don't know if I trust that person, but I kind of like that story. And it would make sense for them to do ketamine. That's all I'm saying. They seem like the type to do ketamine.
Thing to do. Oh,
Am I wrong?
No comment.
No comment? Have you ever tried ketamine, Shibo?
No, Peyton.
Me neither.
For legal reasons,
I have section only... of the episode. What?
Yeah, okay. I've only ever drank water for legal reasons.
That's the only thing you've ever done in your entire life is drink water. You've never done anything else. You've never had a cup of coffee. Are you a fucking Mormon, Shibo? Did you go Mormon on me since last episode? Converted to the LDS. Wait, what was that in your hand, Shibo? What was that in your hand? Bring that back up. A Coca-Cola that has caffeine. Absolutely. Yeah, you've done more than fucking water, Shibo.
I'm going to stop recording now.
No, you fucking keep it going. You're going to keep it going.
And do what?
I don't know. Okay, bye.
That's not the way to do it.